How's it going, friends? Today I'm bringing you this Electrolux gas water heater, which has several problems, but right now we're mainly going to talk about this leak it has here. So to open it up, we're going to remove the screws at the bottom. There are several, and at the top there are only two. Once that's done, we just disconnect two cables from the display and we can remove the cover. Once that's done, we're going to turn on the tap and you'll see how the water droplet starts to appear. This happens because there's a seal or a very small O-ring that is no longer sealing properly. So we're going to close the main valve that supplies the heater and we're going to remove the inlet screws, the two burner screws, which are these right here, the grounding screw and the screws that go directly to the base, so we can remove the entire main system of the heater, okay? We're also going to repair these wires over here, which are the ones that carry the spark. Why? Because they're already burned, so we're going to trim them a bit and then readjust. Here we already have everything loosened. I just have one screw left, which is the one at the end over there. So once that's done, we can remove the entire main system to start the repair. Right here, here's the membrane, but to access it properly, we need to remove these two screws here on the gray part, which is what controls the gas, okay? So once that's done, we can remove the four corresponding screws. Once that's ready, here I'll show you this rubber piece that goes here. And this is just for the gas part. But anyway, we'll assemble it later on. So we remove this and look at how the plate is completely destroyed, broken. This has been here for a very long time. And the constant contact with water ruins the plastic. When we lift the membrane, we can also see part of the spring. It's a spring that holds a kind of valve, what's it called, pulled forward. And we can see that it also wasn't doing its job of pulling this piece of the valve. So we're going to repair that spring and replace this broken plate that no longer works. But we also see a nut. We're going to loosen that nut because that's where the damaged O-ring is located. So once that's loosened, we can remove this entire shaft. The shaft should come with a small golden piece at the tip, as you can see, but it also needs an O-ring. That O-ring is inside and that O-ring needs to be removed. This piece needs two O-rings, one for the gas and one for the water. For the spring part, what we're going to do is close the top a little, so we can adjust the valve that you see next, like this. So we press, and the valve should retract again with the spring. That's how it works, okay? So here is the part from the new replacement. As you can see, the O-ring at the tip, that O-ring is for the gas. So when you retract that piece, if it doesn't have this O-ring, it's because it's inside. Where it goes, I'll show you in a moment. It will be right there at the end. You can't put in two O-rings, you only need to put one, okay? So once that's done, we're going to put the plate back in place. The pressure plate. We're going to put this membrane, which is the new one, and be very careful when installing it because there is a wrong side, okay? So it goes in this way with the hole pointing directly toward the cavity of the plate. So, well, now we come back and cover everything with the four screws. We put this gas seal in place. It has to be there, one. And then we put back the main spring, which is the one that controls the flow of gas. There, the little hole just points toward the shaft. There's no way to get that wrong. And we put back the other screws on the gray part, which is the gas control system. Okay? So once that's done, most of it is ready. All that's left is to install the switch part here. Remember, the switch got wet, so we just remove those two small Phillips screws and we can replace it with the new switch, which is this one we have here. When installing it, make sure the orange button is facing downward. If you put it facing upward, it won't work, okay? So once that's done, we just put the switch in place and we're ready to install this gray-black gasket we have here. You also need to be very careful not to drop it because otherwise it could start leaking gas and that's dangerous. So now everything is ready and installed, as you can see. The base screws are in place, the burner, the water inlet, and the four base screws that attach to the gray part. Here we also have the purge valve. We always remove that purge valve because it breaks very easily. It's a very delicate part. So we connect all the hoses, but we still haven't connected the gas hose yet. Here we're just checking that there are no water leaks anywhere, and we see that the switch is working properly. In the battery compartment, look at the box, it was completely destroyed, okay? So we're going to replace this box, and the wires were also completely burnt, as you can see. So we're going to replace all these wires with their terminals properly, everything new, with new batteries, new battery holder, now everything new for this water heater. So it's almost like a complete course, okay? Once that's done, we'll open the valve with the gas connected, everything hooked up, and we see that it's working properly. Okay friends, so that's all for now. Everything has been replaced on this water heater. Look at how the switch is opening and closing properly, okay? So, well friends, that's all for this video. I hope you liked it. Here I'll show you everything we've replaced. There were 7 items in total, so we'll keep going here with much more information. See you next time.